I had a few thoughts on the Idaho case. The next step is a preliminary hearing. In my state, it's called probable cause hearing. In my state, it's heard by a judge. I've never seen it heard by a jury. That's the definition of probable cause. You can see it's a pretty low bar. In discovery, they get everything that led them up to that point, including evidence that shows he didn't do it, other people they were looking at, and that they quit looking at anybody else at a certain point. That's exculpatory evidence. Everything they asked for is pretty standard except for one thing that caught my attention. They asked for all the stuff that has to do with detective work and evidence collecting. But the one thing that caught my eye was drug tests. Maybe that tells us something. Were the occupants of the house all impaired some way? I'd say that's likely, but we don't know to what extent. And say if they do test a pile of dust and it comes back positive for something, is it the defense's intention to say he was there just to buy drugs? I keep going back and forth on whether I think he gave a statement. Because it's one thing to be a PhD candidate, and it's another to get woken up with machine guns in your face at 4 in the morning. I think his spontaneous utterance, "Did you arrest anybody else?" was him trying to see how caught he was. He hasn't entered a plea yet, and I think it's an indicator no big-name attorney has picked up this case. To have a PC hearing with so much evidence, maybe they just want to see some of the evidence sooner, and it locks down 2 or 3 witnesses into their story. But it also could be they don't want to see trial, because he hasn't even pled yet. And if he gave a statement, that's not much of a trial. I get asked a lot, do I think he's done this before? Starting out with so many victims is unusual. That there was a skinned animal in the area, that's unusual. And that there have been several stabbings in the area as well, that's unusual. But I think he was sloppy, showing inexperience. And if he's this sloppy on this one, that would mean he's more sloppy on the ones before it. And I think he would have been caught before. Maybe they didn't look at those cases as hard, but I'd be willing to bet they've already double-checked those cases. But once again, I'm guessing on all this, and I could be wrong.